This is the start. This is your heart. This is the day you were born. This is the sun. These are your lungs.
So this whole idea of a riddle is actually good for us, because perplexity is a good thing. It reminds us that I don't have all the answers, that I need to turn to someone who does have the answers. And he may not give me the answers right now, but can I trust that he has all the answers? And if he loves me like I know he does, and he's sovereign like I know he is, why would I be wondering about anything that's going? But when we're in the middle of it, that's where it's the hardest, isn't it?
That's when we're schizophrenic. We're being pulled in two directions, or as James says, we're double-minded. Our minds are going in two different directions at once. But I like that, because there's no promise that if you follow the Lord, everything's going to be crystal clear and make sense. No. I mean, here's a question: Is Solomon, from his perspective, is life really meaningless, or is it really a riddle? And now we know that it's not. Like, we could help Solomon. Hey, Solomon, now that we have the New Testament, we know that it's not meaningless and it's not a riddle. Or is it actually still a riddle?
There are still things that we're going to be puzzled by. I look at, we have grandkids now, so when the grandkids come over, sometimes we have these big floor puzzles, and it's just fun to watch them put it together and try to figure. And at first it's like, if I didn't have the box, so this is true with even a 1,000-piece puzzle. If I don't have the box, I am going to have a real challenge putting this thing together. I'm going to put together the edge, the outside things, because that kind of holds everything in. So I got my foundational stuff down. But the middle stuff, we're slowly figuring it out. And I don't think we're going to put the last piece in until we're standing before the Lord. And even then, we're still going to have questions. So it is still parts of our life where it's a riddle. But the thing is, if we know what it says, we can have confidence that if we love Jesus and we strive to obey him, that's a big part of it, is we leave out sometimes. He says, it says it in Solomon, Solomon says it, obey the word.
John 15, if you love me, you'll obey my commandments.
Exactly. And we tend to leave that out, because then it sounds like we're saying it's based on works or something. That's not it. It's based on, do I love this person? I mean, you love Donna, and you're doing things for her. You know what she likes. And when you want to bless her, you do that. When you want to irritate her, you know what she doesn't like. And you may be tempted to do that, but I know how you are, Alex. You don't. So that
happened one time. One time.
That one time, and that wasn't pretty. So
frankly, I've been dragging Donna along in this marriage for a long time.
So the whole idea you're talking about, it, whether it's a riddle or not, it's going to continue to be a riddle. We do not have the mind of Christ. And that's a lie of Satan, where, the world kind of tells you that you should be able to have everything figured out.
Well, a lot of Christians think we think we have, and we lose our humility. We become obnoxious. And then for some reason, nobody likes the smell of us, because we're acting like we're better than them, or we know more than they do. And we do. That's the problem, is it's like there's a sea of knowledge, and we get a few drops, and we're just like, oh my goodness, eureka. And then we act like we have it all. I think let's move to the conclusion, Bryan.
Okay. If we're pursuing any of these things with just ourselves in mind, we're going to end up feeling empty. That's not how God designed us. He didn't. That's a lie of Satan, to say it's all about you. It's all about your stuff. It's your success. You're this. Because we've seen too many times where people build this shrine to themselves.
And somewhere in Ecclesiastes, I think it says something like the glory of God is to hide things, and the glory of kings is to uncover them.
Yes.
And God seems to get great joy in letting us discover things as we seek him.
Yeah, Jesus taught in parables on purpose. He even tells his guys, I'm doing this because I want them to figure it out.
Right.
But I'll go ahead and explain it to you knuckleheads. Because you're wanting the answer now.
Right.
Greater
degree of information and blessing, greater accountability. With Spider-Man, with much power comes
just like Spider-Man.
It's very much like Spider-Man. My Spidey sense is tingling, telling me we should read And we'll close with this. This is chapter 12. It's the end of the book, of course.
Okay.
In verse 9, not only was the teacher wise, but he also imparted knowledge to the people. He pondered and searched out and set in order many proverbs. Teacher searched to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like goads. Their collected sayings like firmly embedded nails, given by one shepherd.
Can I stop you there for just a second? Because I was reading this earlier. Do you think this is some insight into Jesus? Because it talks about the goads, which makes me think of the crown of thorns, and it talks about the nails that are firmly embedded on the cross.
That's beautiful.
I don't know if that's what it is, but as I read that, I was just like, whoa.
Well, it says given by one shepherd. So we have the teacher on the one hand, but we have the shepherd.
Yes.
Yeah. And here you've been in John. That is amazing. And it's beautiful to read the Old Testament looking for Jesus. And I think you found him. It's time to live in heaven now, because heaven is in me and I'm bringing it to the world. All right. Of making many books, there's no end, and much study wearies the body. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether good or evil. And so the riddle of life is solved in a simple thing. And you've stated it and restated it several times. We live for the Lord and we do what's right. And if things don't make sense to us for a while, it's okay, because we know who we're following. If these gifts from God are utilized in connection with us attaching ourselves to substance, to God, then they're beautiful and they're meaningful. They actually have meaning.
And think about our world today. We've got so many people who are dealing with anxiety and depression, isolation,
addiction,
suicide.
Well, Bryan, grab your one cup behind you. And here's to doing our best to live a life fearing the Lord.
Clink.
Clink.